Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw News Brief.
News brief.
I said this before, man. We're probably going to be doing a lot of these types of things. There's a lot of stuff going on in the wrestling world.
Such, yes.
You wake up and holy crap, look at that. You look good.
Oh, thank you. I cut my hair.
Yeah, you look awesome.
It's a new day. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Larson, I'm days away from leaving the
What's up
country.
with kayfabe news dropping a bombshell?
That's what I honestly thought it was.
Yeah, me too.
I just woke up to the headline. Big change. It was literally I woke up the minute it was like 6:44.
It's like your alarm went off when SI put the tweet up, huh?
Well, Conrad retweeted it with the caption something like "Wrestling in 2019 is wild," and sure enough, it is because Sports Illustrated reported WWE confirmed with their own press release Paul Heyman will be the executive director of Monday Night Raw, and Eric Bischoff will be the executive director of SmackDown Live. Both will be reporting directly to Vince McMahon.
Yeah, here I got this quote from WWE's press release on the matter. Quote, in their executive roles, Heyman and Bischoff will oversee the creative development of WWE's flagship programming, ensure integration across all platforms and lines of business. That's some corporate speak. I've ever heard it.
2.0.
The creation of these roles further establishes WWE's ability to continuously reinvent its global brand while providing two distinct creative processes for its flagship shows. SI notes in their report, quote, the two positions are full-time executive roles with no plans at the current time for this to be introduced as part of a television storyline. That's good news.
Yeah.
And adds that, quote, Bischoff will also work directly with executives from Fox, which will air SmackDown Live beginning this October.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's crazy. That's super crazy. Nobody saw this coming.
No, that's why I thought it was a kayfabe news thing.
Right?
See, okay, let's get through PW Insiders.
There's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah, there is. They have some more details. As far as Heyman, WWE had thought to bring him in full-time as far back as February. Saying, quote, an offer was issued to Heyman to come on board full-time as a top member of the creative team around the same time Bruce Pritchard was brought back as senior vice president, but the conversations were slow in progressing. He's been in the inner circle when it comes to the creative process for some time without an official title. He and WWE have been circling around this deal for a long time and finally came to terms recently. Of course, Heyman is heavily involved in Brock's creative. We heard he was heavily involved in Ronda Rousey's creative.
Right.
PW Insider also mentions Alexa Bliss.
Oh, interesting. Oh, wow. Well, that explains some stuff.
Yeah.
Because we've been both big fans of the current sort of Alexa Bliss,
they've been doing a really good job.
Cross Bailey stuff.
As far as the deal for Bischoff, what PW Insider had to say, quote, the Bischoff deal came together within the last several weeks. Bischoff has been working on pre-production on the planned Netflix Hulk Hogan biography film, a biopic. And
who's going to play Bischoff? Is anybody going to play Bischoff? I think, doesn't it stop before the WCW stuff?
Maybe. And it had a slew of personal appearances booked over the last week. He quietly began canceling these appearance dates, so it is likely when he came to official terms with WWE. We are told that he'll be working directly with Fox as WWE builds their relationship with SmackDown's new home. We are told that WWE approached him about the role and that his previous work in collaborating with Turner Broadcasting, Spike, and other networks in building past TV series was one of the reasons Bischoff was pitched for the position. They conclude, we are told that they will be overseeing all aspects of the individual series, answering directly to Vince McMahon. One WWE source compared their roles to Paul Levesque in NXT, and that they will be in charge, but it's still Vince's company.
Okay, so regardless of what you think about Bischoff, this is an acknowledgement of something's wrong, and we need leadership at these two positions for these two shows. To me, that's step one and the most important step.
Yeah, it's a step in the right direction. I mean, it's a step forward in that regard, but it's a step backwards in terms of who they brought. Well, I like Heyman. Heyman's a forward-thinking guy.
Heyman being in charge of Raw. There's a lot here. One of which, I'll just say this about Heyman. Heyman being in charge of Raw alone is going to at least give those people who are waiting out their contracts reason to think, okay, well, wait a second. there might be some change on the horizon.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of the Revival specifically.
Yeah.
The Revival might turn around and say, "Whoa, hold on a second. I'm going to give this another shot."
Yeah, we'll reconsider whatever decision we may have made. Totally. I just feel like the Bischoff hire is kind of a step. I don't know. It's not the direction I would have taken. I understand he's established. He has experience establishing the relationship with network executives. But he's like, his legacy's built on one good idea, more or less.
I don't know. I think I don't.
From a creative standpoint,
I don't think
I'm not that excited about Bischoff heading SmackDown.
I'm taking a wait and see approach on it because I think the thing, number one, I've been reading that Nitro book. I've been talking about that endlessly. It's an awesome read. And in terms of how it presents him, and granted, I know a lot of that is probably how it comes through his own lens because he probably, gave the info to the book. But he does seem like a relationship building guy. I mean, look, I know he ran the NWO on the ground. He also brought the cruiserweights in. He also brought in, obviously Hall and Nash, the NWO, Goldberg.
Yeah.
He did a lot of good things when it came to building WCW into an actual competitor for the WWF.
Bischoff seems like he might be a decent idea guy. Execution is another thing entirely.
Right. I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't there. Like, I don't.
All I have in front of me,
the backstage machinations of WCW back then,
yeah,
seemingly were all over the map. And when you're dealing with egos like Hulk Hogan as the talent, that's a very different thing.
Especially when it comes to Bischoff's run in TNA, that was a problem of his own making, dealing with Hogan's ego.
Yeah.
I mean, all I have in front of me is what I've seen based on WCW and what I've seen of his work in TNA and what I've heard. I don't want to dismiss his creative energies, his creative ideas out of hand. And yes, if he does something good, I'll be the first to say, good job, Eric. Just looking at his history, it's a mixed bag.
It's a mixed bag, but there's positive there. There's positive there.
Mostly just the NWO though.
And we don't know, like, we have no idea what this new power structure really means. However, we can kind of surmise, and it's funny because Ryan Satin, he posted up a video from Inside the Ropes, a Bischoff appearance there, where he was talking about the brand split, and the long and short of it is he said that you need to keep those things so separate they feel like different entities.
Yeah, which is true.
Which is totally true. I don't know. I mean, this might be a disaster. Don't get me wrong. And you're right. Looking at Bischoff's history,
make him different. He's going to bring in Hogan to be the GM of SmackDown.
Right. Exactly. Although he had a very interesting answer out. So to try to understand where Bischoff's coming from now.
Yeah.
In terms of, does he follow the product? That kind of stuff. Which apparently, according to somebody in our secret mod chat.
I saw that he just follows the major beats or something.
But he doesn't actually watch the show.
Yeah. Which could be good or bad.
Yeah.
But if he's heading up SmackDown, that's kind of the one show that kind of more often than not was getting things right.
Yeah, but not lately.
Not lately.
That's out the window right now.
That has a lot to do with the restructuring of the writing team and whatnot, seemingly in the wild card rule. But prior to all that, they were the one brand that was far more consistently enjoyable.
It was definitely an enjoyable show, and for us, it was must-see, but the idea is to make it must-see to a larger audience.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, no, but he had a question. It was an Ask Eric Bischoff Anything episode of his podcast, 83 Weeks, and the question was, let's say it's late 98, and you need to pick five, and it's funny because you're going to call BS on it, and I did too, and Conrad did too.
Good.
He says, you need to pick 5 WCW stars to go up against the best of
this should be a
WWF.
Doozy. This should be good.
Can you guess which names? Let me write down these names real quick because I remember this is
all right. Don't show them to me.
Okay. I'm just
What year was this recorded?
Late 98.
No, what year was this actual podcast? Was this from this year?
This was weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna guess he'll say Goldberg.
Yeah, that was number 1. That was the first one.
Jericho.
Yeah, and that's the one that Conrad was. He was like, "Whoa, what?"
Yeah, I know.
He was like, "That's just surprising." He was like, "Why is it surprising?" He was like, "He'll bring the action. He'll bring the fire." And he's like, "You've got Hogan and Flair there. Why are you choosing Jericho?" And he says, "Well, that's why." He says, "And I'm not done. So continue on."
Guerrero.
No, oddly no.
Interesting.
No.
Let me ask you this real quick.
Okay.
Is Hogan or the Outsiders on it?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so. I just want to make sure.
No. You know his reasoning for Hogan? He said Hogan is such an entity of his own, he'd never need to tag out.
All right, so it's Goldberg, Jericho,
Yeah.
Ray?
Yeah. Wow. Very good. That surprised me too.
I'm just thinking of anybody who went on to WWE Benoit.
Surprisingly, no. I
Okay.
thought that was going to be on there too.
Who moved on to better things at WWE after they left WCW, honestly.
Well, no. One of them is an old guy who's a
Sting.
great storyteller.
Oh, a good storyteller?
Yeah. Probably the best storyteller.
Stevie Ray? Booker T.
No, Booker T's not on it. Who's known to get out legal pads and meticulously
Dave Meltzer.
Macho Man.
Oh, Macho Man, yeah.
Macho
That's
Man.
interesting.
Yeah. and
Booker
then-
T was on the list?
No. Well, come on, late '98, man.
Oh, DDP, yeah.
DDP.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was his list. So yeah, that was kind of interesting. So I don't know. Yes, it's a big unknown. Do you have reason to be pessimistic about Bischoff? Sure,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
But here's the thing.
Listen, I mean, the way this is
The
kind
brand split's got to be back, right? They've
you'd
got
hope so. I mean, this is reason to be optimistic. We'll have a hard brand split. Maybe they'll actually push for the idea of each show having a different look, feel, vibe. Maybe Bischoff will bring
that's going to happen with Fox.
maybe
for sure.
maybe Bischoff will bring back the fly on the wall stuff they use in TNA. That was actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
If Bischoff can concern himself with network relations and freshening up the presentation, while maybe not being as hands-on in terms of the storyline stuff, because I understand Road Dogg's gone. I don't know if any of the holdovers from the creative team of SmackDown prior to the Superstar or the Wildcard rule in Superstar Shakeup can kind of go back to SmackDown. But if Bischoff can concern himself with kind of like the macro presentation, dealing with Fox, and then bring in really good writers who are familiar with the talents on the brand and let them do their job, then I'll be optimistic. If he's super hands-on with creative,
Well, who would be his Hulk Hogan? Now,
be Roman Reigns now,
Yeah,
assuming he stays
huh?
on
Yeah,
on
yeah.
SmackDown. Like Heyman, I mean, granted, Heyman's track record isn't perfect, but he's done some really interesting creative stuff in the past. From a creative standpoint, I have a lot more faith in him. It's the business side of things that always was kind of his issue.
Yeah.
So if he is more hands-on creatively, and let Vince, whoever that might be, handle the executives at USA Network, someone has experience dealing with that aspect of things, I think that would maybe hopefully work out pretty good.
yeah. Sean Ross Sapp, Fightful, they sent out a thing saying that they were going to spend the day trying to get reactions from superstars backstage. Hopefully we'll have that info for you.
Oh, Seth tweeted something.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
What did he tweet out?
He was excited that Bischoff was coming back.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, I put my faith in the people who are sort of there and
He says, the Bish is back, hashtag Team WWE. That's what Seth had to say.
but he's a Raw guy.
Yeah, no, I don't know if you
So-
understand. Maybe he's gonna work out a deal, go to SmackDown, and work
I
with the
can't
Bish.
believe I'm leaving on Sunday.
You gotta
The
cancel
first
your trip, man.
episodes
You gotta cancel.
are
your
going to
trip.
be dropping while I'm gone. Can I
Tell
do
you-
a special Steve Reacts like vlogs from there? No, I can't. I'm not allowed to watch Raw and then like give people my thoughts on it.
That involves editing on my part. I'm not that into
No,
that.
I'll just say I put it up myself.
Oh, all right, whatever. Sean Ross Sapp just tweeted 6 minutes ago. I've reached out to WWE about when Heyman and Bischoff's roles start and whether or not it affects the WWE wildcard rule. Haven't heard back.
Please, can it be after I'm gone? I mean, after I'm back. Can they be like, okay, well, they're going to take 3 weeks to decide all this, to
Maybe
figure
we'll have
it all
another
out?
hard reset, vacating all the titles.
Yeah, exactly.
That works so well in WCW.
Yeah.
That's all I got right now.
All right. Well, we'll have reactions to this hopefully on tomorrow morning's
Just ask your
news
sister
show.
to postpone her wedding.
There's a lot of stuff going on July 6th in the UK that's her wedding date, and that Progress is running a show. I think ICW is running a show on that date. Like, there's a ton of stuff, and my sister has to get married on the one day. All the stuff's going
I'm
on.
gonna tell you, man.
Oh boy.
You
Oh
ask for
boy. Oh
postpone
boy.
if you want to.
Boy, that smell's not going away, is it? Anyways, that's all we got for you guys right now. It looks like Vince McMahon looked in the mirror sooner than later.
Or someone twisted his arm a little bit.
Yeah, I'd be kind of surprised about that, huh? Somebody go. What's your
No, I said maybe
speculation
someone
there?
twisted his arm. Maybe the networks next were like, "Hey, this isn't going to cut it, man.
Yeah,
You got to do something." It's not him stepping down, but
the
it's
alliance
him
is
abdicating
in.
some
The
responsibility.
alliance is in control, man. Wow, that's crazy. Anyways, this should be, like I said yesterday, weird times. Now we got to reshoot stuff. Like Matt Chat's going to have no reference to this whatsoever.
I don't know if that was the question, bro.
I remember distinctly yesterday me saying things aren't going to change until October.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well.
Oh, well. Oh, man. And we have already filmed our top 10 news stories of 2019 so far.
Yeah, I'll have to do an addendum to that.
We'll have to do like a Joker thing.
Yep.
Joker here. Anyways.
Genuine Joker product.
Thanks, everybody, for watching. We have our NXT review coming up in a little bit.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
How do I hit record?